Okay, so back on the plane project. Well, I'll just show you what I got going on so far. So I got the 2 coats of the Eco Fill on there, and I've already went through and sanded it, prepared it for paint. I went back through with the iron at 220 degrees and laid down some of my tapes that were starting to stick up, and they laid down nicely. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna take my painter's tape and I'm gonna tape off where I'm not gonna be painting. I'm gonna be painting this back over to just give this another fresh coat. But I got some plastic I'm gonna set up behind here, and I'm gonna basically just go for the paint. I'm also gonna repaint these cracks. I got them nice and sanded down real nice, so I'll repaint those. Basically from here over is gonna be a repaint. And then of course underneath. So yeah, so I'm gonna start taping up and putting the plastic on, and then we'll start the process of painting. Got it all blocked off everywhere you can see underneath. Got it all taped off, blocked off, and we'll be good to go. The only thing I got to do before I start shooting it with paint is I've got to take my 320 grit sandpaper or my Scotch-Brite and just go across here, rough it up some. That way the paint will stick very well. I've already roughed this up pretty good where these cracks were and stuff, so I'll just kind of lightly go over it again. But over here, this isn't really messed with, so I'm just gonna scratch it off pretty good, and then the same for the underneath. And then after that, I'll mix the paint and be ready to shoot it. Whew. Okay, so I was able to finish the painting. I'm in the process of cleaning my paint gun and getting that all situated. It started to rain on me, so which is fine. I'm inside the garage. The only problem is I got a 1-car garage and storage space is limited. So I'm sharing my airplane spot with the Fuselage. So I had it outside while I was doing the painting, and I'll try to give you a quick update, show you what it looks like and what I got to do next. I'll do the best I can since the full is kind of in the way. You can see it really turned out nice. You can kind of see down there at the bottom. You know, right there, you can see where the paint started to run. Not gonna lie to you, this is my first time painting with a spray gun. And I started spraying, I started painting, and it really looked nice. And I kind of got carried away. I put too much paint on it. No big deal. What I can do is wait for this to dry, and I'll go back and sand it, hit it again, kind of touch it up. And let me show you underneath. Okay, so here's underneath. As you can see, I didn't really do that great of a job underneath. You can tell up there, I still got to hit that with the spray gun. And of course, right here, I didn't really get the good angle. The problem was the gravity feed gun that I'm using. It's hard to get that, you know, you really need to be perpendicular with the surface you're spraying. And my issue was I couldn't quite get perpendicular. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. This turned out better than I thought it would. I'm gonna let this sit for the next couple of days. But either way, I'll get back to you on it. It's the next weekend after the last paint job I did. So I'm back out here again to try to knock it out today. I'm gonna try to finish all the coats. If it needs a third one, do a third one. Did some research. I should have done lighter coats and then staged it, but like I said, I was excited. I was getting this thing painted. So let me show you where we're at. You can kind of tell, like right here, that's a lot more smoother than this. This is a little bit more rough. And that's just because this was already painted. And then this is kind of where we're at in the new paint. So hopefully this will smooth over and look a lot like the other side. This is the other side of the airplane. You can see how fabric is nice and smooth. The tapes, you know, is not bulging out, nothing like that. So that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do on the other side. Underneath, I've got a lot of work to do underneath, and it's difficult because of gravity. Yeah, obviously, you know, I have a lot of problems with the runs right here, but I sanded those off. Speaking of, it's been a while since I painted it, so I sanded everything with 320 grit sandpaper. That way the paint would stick very good to it. Once I get these other coats on, hopefully this one will look just like the other side. Nice and smooth. Just finished the second coat. Looking a lot better as far as covering up those seams. So you can see right here I got a little heavy on the runs, and same down here. It's kind of difficult down here on the edge. It's because I'm just trying to get it underneath with the gravity gun. It's a little bit difficult, but that's why I'm spraying so heavy down here, trying to get that. And right here, it ends up just being wrinkles in the fabric with, you know, a little bit of runs here and stuff. But I think mostly that's a run, that's a wrinkle. So that was as tight as I could get it with the iron. While painting, I started to get a little bit of orange peel going on. So I don't know if you can see it, especially over here in this corner. Yeah, see that? So I had to adjust my air, got it better, and I run out of paint, and so I covered up all this orange peel, but I gotta go back over here and get that, which is no big deal. I expected at least one more coat. So I'm gonna let this tack up, let it get dry to the, it's still kind of tacky, but where it won't come off on your finger, and then I'm gonna spray it again with another coat. Okay, it's the next day. I let it dry overnight. Of course, it was late anyway, so I had maybe 8 hours to dry. And I was coming out here this morning, I was gonna pull all my tape off, pull the plastic down, and this front section was horribly orange peeled, had bad runs all the way down here, even right here in the middle had bad runs. This side was perfect. So what I did was I just put a taped off that. I didn't have to repaint that again, and I loaded up the gun, shot it again right there. So I got the door up now, letting it dry, letting it get real nice and warm in here. About 85, 88 degrees today. It's the big reveal. Okay, so as you can see, I got all the tape off, and it looks good, nice and smooth there. Didn't have no more orange peel. Looks all right. I'm disappointed by the color, to be honest with you, because you can totally see the line drawn right there where the color changes. You know, it's more of a white, that's more of a this off-white. But I don't understand, because the little card I had for the colors, the glacier white isn't what I painted on, and it matched really well here compared to the other options of white I had. So I'm not sure why this turned out the way it did, not unless this is just dirty or something. Maybe I can clean it up, or maybe just throw some dirt on this. I'm not quite sure, but either way, long story short, it's done, and it's just a little bit off on the color. As it turns out, after the paint had really settled in and I got the plane all back together again, when I took it to the local airstrip on a beautiful sunny day, you could barely notice a difference in the color. It actually blended together really nice.